Thank you, Senator Conroy. Senator Fifield.
Thank you, Mr President. I think it's important to provide some context before I move to the substance of what is a procedural motion. Australia will join international partners to help the anti-ISIL forces in Iraq. Following the successful international humanitarian relief effort, airdropping supplies to the thousands of people stranded on Mount Sinjar in northern Iraq, the RAF will now conduct further humanitarian assistance. The United States government has asked Australia to help transport stores of military equipment, including arms and munitions, as part of a multinational effort. RAF C-130 Hercules and C-17 Globemaster aircraft will join aircraft from other nations, including Canada, Italy, France, the United Kingdom and the United States, to conduct this important task. Australia's contribution will continue to be coordinated with the government of Iraq and regional countries. As the Prime Minister has made clear previously, the situation in Iraq represents a humanitarian catastrophe. Australia remains in close contact with the United States and other international partners, and we will continue to work to alleviate the humanitarian situation in Iraq and address the security threat posed by ISIL. There have been no formal request for combat forces and no decision taken to get further involved in the conflict. What's happening currently is an intervention with the Iraqi government in support of the Iraqi government. Mr President, I think it's important to note in relation to the announcement by the Prime Minister yesterday that the regular conventions have been followed in the decision-making process. Discussion at the National Security Committee of the Cabinet, decision by the Cabinet and consultation with the opposition. And the Prime Minister has acknowledged the cooperation and bipartisan support of the operation in this matter, and the fact that the government is following the precedent in relation to decision-making of previous governments. Mr President, it's also important to note that there are the regular forms of this place available to senators to discuss matters of public importance, both domestic and foreign. Those forms are available, and I'm sure that colleagues will avail themselves of those over the period ahead. The government also will be using the regular forms available in this place to provide updates to the Senate and to the Parliament in relation to the activities that Australian Defence Force personnel are engaged in. And I think it's very important that those regular forms are used in an orderly and planned way, that all colleagues have the opportunity to avail themselves of these processes. We don't think that the nature of the motion put forward by the Australian Greens should intervene in the ordinary course of the business of this place. Yes, there are important matters that Australia is involved with overseas, and those should be canvassed appropriately in this place, but there are also important domestic matters which the Parliament must continue to pursue, and for that reason the government will not be supporting the Greens' motion to suspend standing orders. We think it's important that government business, as scheduled for today, proceed.